Hi, I'm Sarah Shepherd and welcome to my weekly Taroscopes. Hi there and welcome to this week's Taroscopes for the week of the 22nd of June to the 28th of June 2020. Hope you've had an amazing week. I know it's been a bit wet, so we've got a few things done indoors, but the sun's coming out this week. Let's begin. Aries, you're a bit defensive this week. For some reason, there's something very close to your heart that you feel you need to defend. I feel like this is a belief or a passion that not everybody else would share. So get behind it, support it, but if you become defensive, you lose your argument. Taurus, we're back in charge now. All systems go. We know what we want, we know how to get it, and we're going to do it. It's wonderful. Please don't worry if nobody else is on board. You just do you and not worry what everybody else is doing. Gemini, you're in control as well. Everyone seems to be taking control this week. Be careful you're not too bossy though, because you seem to be... Don't ask people to do what you would not do yourself. And that is the rule of thumb. If you are not prepared to do it yourself, you can't expect anybody else to. So when you're asking for help, please remember this. Cancer, you're in a bit of a thoughtful phase at the moment. You're thinking, what am I going to do with myself next? Okay, where next? What next? You feel like you stood on the edge of a cliff and at the beginning of something brand new, if you only knew what it was. So please, write down a few ideas. I'm sure you must have some. Everybody has goals and dreams. Don't be scared to reach too far. Leo, we're a bit prosperous this week. We seem to have money in abundance. One little hint, please don't rub this in people's faces who don't have it. It's really nice to be generous. It's really nice to be able to help other people. But just bear in mind they might be feeling a little bit inadequate. Virgo, you sharing the wealth as well this week. Please don't make it conditional. If you can't afford to give it and not expect it back, then don't give it. Okay? You'll upset a few people if you put conditions around, and it doesn't make you as attractive as you think it does. So if you're going to give help or you're going to give money, do it freely and expect nothing in return. Libra, we've got a bit of a snap behind our tongues at the moment, but you must say what you need to say. It's been stewing for too long. I feel we said this a few weeks back, and I wonder if it hasn't occurred yet. With tarot, things keep coming up until they're resolved, and then we get something new. So let's resolve it. Let's get it all out of our system, put everybody in their place, and move on. You're only hurting yourself by keeping it inside. Scorpio, you just seem to be on a winner at the moment. Very lucky, very fortunate. Lady Luck is on your side. It's time to start thinking bigger and putting things into place. You're very talented and you've been hiding it under a bushel. Sagittarius, time to go inside a bit and have a bit of a think. I feel like the planets are affecting you more than anybody at the moment. I don't know if anybody follows astrology, but there are a lot of planets in retrograde at the moment. So a little bit of inward thinking doesn't go amiss. Work out who you are. If you know who you are, no one can take that away from you. There's a little hint for you. Capricorn, you're on a nurturing one at the moment. You want to take care of everybody, be mother hen. You can see what needs to be done and you just want to help everybody. Some people are hard to mother though. They weren't born to be mothered. So just bear that in mind, that all your help might fall on deaf ears, but can't fault a girl for trying. Or a man at that. Aquarius, why are you sitting there like you've got a bit of a sore head? We're like a bear with a sore head at the moment, snapping out at everybody. I think it's just the weather, the planets. There is no point trying to work it out. There is no logical reason. So just sit with it at the moment and try and bite your tongue. Pisces, we're going backwards this week. We're thinking about what was, but not with regrets, with fine memories. We're looking at maybe going back to childhood times. Maybe something's reminded you of somewhere you went or something you did, but you're looking back fondly. And I feel like you may want to bring part of that feeling back into today, or for the people around you. You want them to experience what you went through. So I think you're going to be making some plans, some fun adventures. Okay guys, that's the Taroscopes for this week. Like I said, there's a few planets going backwards, so we're all feeling a bit wonky. I've had a bit of a wonky weekend myself because it's been Father's Day in the UK and I lost my dad 2 years ago, and it's still a bit raw when you think, oh, I must go and get a card, but there's nobody to get a card for. So this week's inspiration, I'm going to read something I wrote a year ago that kind of helped me put things into perspective. Okay? It's called What Makes You Happy and What Makes You Sad. Last week I was asked to in a close circle to discuss philosophy surrounding what makes me happy or makes me sad. My first thought was to grab a piece of paper, fold it in half lengthways, and list happy on one side and sad on the other. It didn't take me long to realise that some things ended up on both sides of the paper, mostly the important things. The things that make us happiest, therefore, have the potential to make us the saddest. For example, I recently lost my dad. I'm happiest when I remember all the good times and great memories, but sad when I realise he is no longer here. It wasn't much of a leap to realise that it's our reaction and attitude that makes the difference. The way we react turns a situation into a happy or a sad one. Not so easy, you say. What about war, famine, poverty, etc.? Okay, these issues aren't so easy to accept. But what if instead of being alarmed, horrified, disgusted, we asked ourselves what we can do to help? Get involved. Educate ourselves, donate, send healing and prayers. You will find you can be happier if you are proactive. Now, if everybody did the same, the possibilities are endless. In my experience, spirit will always help a warm, generous heart, or at least someone who's trying to make a difference. We all love a trier. I am sure that my dad would rather I was happy remembering his life and legacy, as well as sharing his wisdom and advice with future generations. He'd be sad to see me sad. So if you ask what makes you happy or sad, accept and acknowledge the sadness and see if you can view it from a different perspective. Baby steps. Rome wasn't built in a day. I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed writing it, and it wasn't until I started to write it that I realised happy and sad can both come from the same thing. Food for thought. Okay, that's us for this week. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please share it with everybody else. I have a newsletter. If you email me, I'll send you the link that comes out on a Monday. You can only get a transcript from that newsletter. It's exclusive, along with other information of where I'll be and what I'm doing, etc., etc. Please share with your friends. I'm sure they'd enjoy the guidance too. Okay, I'm always looking for a piece of inspiration to read out within my posts, and I like to give it out to you. I love to hear what other people think. So if you have any inspiration you'd like to share with me, please email me on sarahmysticalmayhem@hotmail.co.uk. That's me for today. Have a wonderful week. The sun is going to be glorious, and I know that makes my heart soar. That feeds my soul. I don't know about everybody else, but it works for me. Have a wonderful week. Stay home. Well, we don't need to stay home. Stay safe. Stay sensible and take care of one another. Till next week. Doodles!